Here we go. No, I haven't turned it on yet.
Okay. Are you doing the... what's happening right now?
You said you had a great intro. I just thought you were going to...
I mean, okay, sure. Okay, if you get a humidifier in your house,
all right,
and you get a priest to bless holy water,
yes.
Can you put holy water in a humidifier?
Can you put holy water in a humidifier?
Yes.
Can you put vape juice in a humidifier and blow fat loops around your room? Can you do tricks? At what point? Hang on.
How strong of a humidifier do you need to do tricks with vape juice?
I think it depends on what your milligram amount is, and whether what. I might have to go and come right back because I think I need to put.
We need to go buy a very strong humidifier.
I need to put cereal milk flavored vape juice in a humidifier. Just buckets of it and blow fat loops around my house. Is that what vaping is? Blowing fat loops? I'm not really into the culture. Hey Connor, how's it going?
It's pretty good. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I was just kidding about making you do your intro, but your intro was far better than the thing we were actually going to do. We were going to sing "Warning" by Green Day. It's relevant to the topic, which we'll get to right after the intro. But I'm Graham Ganal.
I'm Connor Hughes.
It is 100% worse. Let's roll that intro.
Your best friends created the best show in the universe. And they took that show and made that show 100% worse.
Presenting Podcast Extravaganza 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. Now recorded entirely in French, which has been painstakingly dubbed over by English-speaking sound-alikes.
Oh, so now you know the bass riff. Hey guys.
Hey. I don't know why I started like that.
Hey.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm just dying. Real quick. Just choked on a little bit of vape juice. This is 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. Once again, I am Graham Ganal.
And I'm Connor Hughes.
And what we do here on this show is we take concepts, we take things from ordinary life.
Mm-hmm. We take humidifiers.
Yep.
And we add vape juice.
And that's all we do. It's all we've ever done. And it's all we hope to be doing 100 years from now after we have outlived the McElroy brothers and have the podcasting rights to the nation. Yeah. You've heard of 99% Invisible. We are
that 1%.
We are. Well, I was going to say we're in that invisible
we are
percentage.
What? I don't. What?
Anyway, if you want to tweet about the show, and you should, as soon as you listen, because. What could be more hype and viral?
While you're listening.
Tweet at it, but also do listen. Hey,
you can tweet at us real time of your reactions.
Oh yeah,
to things you're listening to.
Oh, should we premiere the episodes so that people can listen in real time? Have you noticed the I don't know how new it is, but the YouTube premiere where your notification will be Jonathan Young is about to premiere a video. It's wow, world premiere. Well, how do I get a seat? And it's turn on your computer. Sorry, I'm getting off track. The point is, tweet about the show using the hashtag 100worse. That's the number 100 and the word worse.
Yep.
You can also send an email to the show with anything that you might want to say by sending it to 100%worse@gmail.com. That's the number 100, the words percent and worse. All right, so now we've got all of that corporate shilling and meaningless pandering out of the way.
Yep.
What's our topic this week?
Our topic this week is warning signs.
Warning signs. Yep. Yeah. You know the kinds of things. When you usually following lawsuits, there's some kind of movement by litigators or corporate entities to say, hey, we need to put better warning labels on our products. We need to warn people about the basic laws of physics so that they know that they do apply to the product that they are trying to use.
Yeah.
Floor slippery when wet. Who would have thought? Coffee hot when hot. Yes. Yes, in fact,
that is how that works.
This hot beverage is quite warm. To that end, as we do every week, we've each compiled a short list of just ideas that we think will serve to make this
aspect of our life, of humanity,
better for everyone.
Yes.
We're helping ourselves, and we're helping you.
Yep.
So help yourself to this episode of 100% Worse and to this first idea. Connor, why don't you hit me with your first great idea for making
Give me
warning
half a second
signs
because I did not have my notes
better.
pulled up.
No. I will just assume you're a professional.
Yeah,
and have your notes pulled up.
I
on your
am
phone.
a professional. Okay, my first idea is a very simple one. Make
Okay.
them bigger.
One more time.
Make them bigger.
Make them bigger.
Yep, make them bigger.
Now, I don't want to refry your beans here, but it does seem like make it bigger is advice that we've given quite a few times on a number of things.
You would be correct.
I remember distinctly we said that for paper clips, and we kind of just kept going bigger. And I was re-listening to the episode where we talked about paper clips, and it devolved into a discussion about the different things we could make out of paper clips. And I don't think we ever decided how big you could make a paper clip.
That is true.
So I don't want to make the same mistake this time. I think
I'll give us a limit. All right.
Okay.
Make the warning sign big enough
Okay.
to where nobody will have to deal with what the warning sign is talking about. Right? If the floor is slippery when wet, get a warning sign big enough to cover that entire section of the store.
Oh.
Bam, nobody will ever slip. If you have like a hair dryer that gets too, gets hot like it does, make the warning sign so big people can't use the hair
Can't even
dryer
touch the hair
and
dryer.
they can't get hurt.
This reminds me of a short piece of fiction that I wrote a while ago. You may have read it. It's called The Sandal in the Toaster. It was moderately well received wherever I put it around. In that story, the protagonist, who's also the narrator, comes downstairs one day to discover that there is a sandal in the leftmost slot of his 4-slice toaster. And basically, he tries to work around that in various ways. Tries to only use the other side of the toaster, tries to put like warnings, like handwritten warning signs on the toaster to remind himself not to use that part of the toaster. Eventually builds a whole contraption around the toaster that completely prevents him from using that part of the toaster at all. And it sounds like you're going for something similar here. Just basically...
Yeah, why not? It would make sense.
Safety through immobility.
Yes.
So you could also, I just feel like if it's a wet floor, right, you could even work the other way. I mean, what's the danger of a wet floor?
That someone would slip and hurt themselves.
Someone would slip. Now, how are they going to slip on a wet floor?
By stepping on it.
By stepping on it, right.
So make
maybe
people not allowed to step.
Not allowed to step. You cut it off at the source. If there's a wet
You cut
floor
off their
anywhere, well...
Sorry.
No.
Maybe a little.
Maybe you do. Or maybe you have somebody just... kind of secure them, just go out, like they go to walk on the floor and you have somebody go over and just wrap them up in just big arms, just big, large, just muscular arms and say, you can't step there, the floor is wet, or just remove the floor if it's such a problem.
Okay, actually, that would probably be less expensive than buying large warning signs. Just remove the floor.
I kind
like
of had
The Sims. Floor gone out of there.
Yeah,
the section
exactly.
just like out. Shoot,
Yeah.
click the X button.
When you go to buy a house, the real estate agent will always tell you how many floors a particular building has. You never get the number of ceilings.
That is true.
I always wonder if there's that one house that has 3 floors, 8 ceilings, just floating rooms with ceilings. Because you walk in there and you're like, oh, what a beautiful vaulted ceiling. No floor. You're gone. You've fallen into the earth.
Oh.
You've gone straight. It's the ending of Mephistopheles. You've gone straight through the trapdoor.
Well, hang on. Wouldn't you always see those houses on the market? You'd always see those houses on the market because...
they're unoccupied.
The buyers just fall into the earth. And
any house in this economy,
again.
Any house that is available... it's available because somebody fell through the non-existent floor.
Yeah, you really have to ask your realtor about that. Usually because when you do buy a house, you do get SIM controls over that house, and a lot of people end up deleting the floors. Just kind of
accidentally.
They think it's kind of funny to then sell the house and there's no floors.
Whoops.
And if you don't get those in order and patch that floor up by clicking the button, you're not going to basically, there's a danger of falling in.
Yeah.
So...
Well, then, sometimes you remove the floors as a funny joke, and then you're like, oh, I'll just put it back in. I'll hire some government workers to do it. And then what happens? Government shut down. Suddenly you can't get your floors back.
Yeah. What
What do you got to? You have to cling onto the walls for support. You become agile. You think Spider-Man goes around like that for fun? No, all the floors in New York City were removed, and now he has to walk around on the walls.
First, you lose.
He doesn't
your
even have
floors,
any powers. He's just persistent.
Then the government gets shut down.
Yeah,
and then you become Spider-Man.
Then you become Spider-Man. That's what I've been
That's why
meaning
we
to
have
tell you.
so many Spider-Men right now.
Yeah,
there are so many Spider-Men in New York
and that's
City.
what I've been meaning to tell you. So ever since the government, at least temporarily, got back online a day or two ago, whenever that happened, I have lost my spider powers.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually even get a chance to tell you that I had them.
Oh man, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I've been Spider-Man no more.
Hey, I mean, for a short while,
Yeah.
it was fun while it lasted.
How come you never see a dry floor sign? Huh? They get no appreciation. They get no respect. No respect at all.
That is true.
What if dry floors are the thing that are my real kryptonite? What if I can?
What if you're a fish?
What?
You can't get onto a dry floor.
Yeah,
that'll kill
that's
you.
hazardous.
Yeah.
And think of other animals that have gills. A dry. And what if you're like an expert skater? You can just slide across a wet floor with ease. But then a dry floor, you go to skate on it. Like socks across linoleum. And what's this? Your ice skates don't move. They become stuck and you fall over. What's this? Ice castles. Now you've gone blind, but you still compete in the tournament and you're beloved. Well, that's not the worst.
And you still get gold, and
that's not the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, I guess it's not bad.
It's not the worst.
So all you have to do is become a professional skater and go find some dry floors. It'll all work itself out from there.
Well, I would just like to see more warning signs that warn you of things that you wouldn't expect. Yeah, because it seems like the ones we have are very obvious.
True.
It's like
True.
It's like item is electrified when plugged into an electrical outlet, or it's like coffee is hot when warm, or
it's like beware of bear, and there's usually a bear standing
and if
behind
there is beware, yeah, exactly, beware of deer. You're crossing the road, beware of deer. You look in your passenger seat,
yeah, there's a deer.
There's usually a deer in your passenger seat, and he's freeloading, and you can't.
Hey, you get out of here, deer! You can't. This is my gas.
In this economy,
you can't do that.
I'm not paying for gas. Yeah, no. You fly, they buy. That should be, and the deer don't contribute.
Yeah, no,
that's the real hazard.
Don't.
You think it's because they're crossing the road, but no. It's just, never pick up a deer hitchhiker. By the way,
they're also kind of rude. They
really
leave trash
rude.
in your car.
They leave. Yeah, last time.
I mean, if it's your car, that's a problem. If it's mine, it's not. Really,
they all eat at Burger King. Have you noticed? It's always and I think it's those nuggets.
It's
because they're so economical.
Yeah, I found nuggets in in the seats. You can like dig down in there, find them in there. It's bad.
No.
Don't pick up deers, people.
Bambi, more like Bambi in someone else's car. Because you
Bambi in nuggets in someone else's car.
We're like bamboozled into taking this deer around. How about a warning sign on each deer? They look all cuddly and cute, except if they're reindeer. I think reindeer are fine; they get a pass.
I liked that Bambi sequel.
Yeah,
Bambi 2, The Great Bamboozle.
Bambi 2, Electric Boogaloo, The Great Bamboozle, and then of course who could forget Bambi 3D?
It was honestly underrated.
Yeah. By the way, I'm really sad that One Direction split up. I know this is not news, but I'm really sad that One Direction split up because I was really waiting for their third movie to come out, which would just be called 3D.
Huh. Did they have a second movie?
I don't believe so. They had a movie.
I didn't even know.
I don't remember what it was called.
It was probably 1D.
I would think, and then the third one could have been 3D.
And that would have been.
But they wouldn't have called it that, would they? They would have done something stupid, just like they did with Now You See Me. Remember, you had Now You See Me, and then the second movie was called Now You Don't. Now not so much with the Seeing Me. Oops, not anymore. Don't You See Me is the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So terrible. It's just terrible and bad. And well, we don't have to talk about this. Dan Harmon did a whole rant, and you could just watch his video. Sometimes I see a warning sign in a place I'm not really expecting it, and it throws me off.
Okay.
I feel like there should be some way of preparing.
Like in your fridge?
Sure. I just feel like there should be some way of preparing people to see a warning sign. Sometimes I'm walking along and it's like, oh my gosh, potholes, or road work ahead. I sure hope it does. And then so it's just upon me. And I need a sign.
You need a warning sign to let you prepare
Yes.
yourself for a warning sign.
A pre-warning sign. What? Well, okay, so like we live in the Midwest, obviously. Here in Indiana, we have a lot of tornadoes. So there are kind of two. We do. If you haven't experienced a tornado, that means that you did, but you just thought it was kind of windy out. That's how it works in Indiana. Yeah. Now, I personally have been at work at my old job when I worked in I used to work at a shoe store. I can just say, I think, where I used to work. I used to work at Famous Footwear. And while I worked there, my manager made us work during a tornado. That we could see outside the window.
Oh,
yeah.
fun.
We had a back room, but not when there were shoes to be sold. So I did get to watch a tornado plow through the parking lot outside.
Now,
that was quite a time.
Was everyone buying running shoes to run away from the tornado? I feel like
there were two schools of thought basically when it came to. So as soon as the tornado appeared, people came in to buy those Nike Tangens, with the big thick soles and the checks on the side, so that they could just run away so fast from the tornado. There were three schools of thought. So there were people who just wanted to run away. There were other people also buying running shoes, but for a different reason. They thought that they could run really fast around the tornado the other way
and stop the tornado. If you get a lot of people,
if you get enough.
Maybe they're holding fans and they're flapping them, or even like electric fans and they're blowing.
Yes, equal and opposite reaction. And then there were those who just went to buy the biggest, heaviest shoes they could find so that they could just...
So that they don't get sucked in.
They could just be a big old weeble outside and just bob and then come back like an inflatable punching bag and just not, kind of just the palm tree way of living through a tornado. My point is... When there's a tornado, or when there might be a tornado, you see on TV it comes up. If there might be a tornado, or if there's it's kind of like if there's about to be a tornado later, then it's tornado watch. So it's like, hey, look out for future announcements that there is a tornado. But there isn't a tornado, but there's a good chance that there will be one. That's called a tornado watch.
Yeah.
If there is a tornado and somebody's seen one, then they put up a tornado warning, and it's like, hey, here's some tornado.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's a tornado.
So what I'm saying is...
kind of slap a warning sticker on the tornado.
Right.
So people can
Well, I often
see...
I will often see when I walk into like a restaurant or other business, I will often see a wet floor sign, which is kind of like a wet floor warning. I don't often... I don't have... There's nothing outside that's like wet floor watch.
True.
So I think there should just be like a pre-warning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something that's like,
hey, watch out. There might be a wet floor.
Keep your glims peeled. Yeah.
Keep your glims peeled?
Your glims peeled.
Your glims peeled.
It's what the cool kids are saying. Just go with it.
Okay. Speaking of tornadoes,
yeah.
Have I ever told the story with the Rescue Heroes show?
Rescue Heroes show?
Yeah. Have I told that? Okay.
I don't know. Go for
When
it.
I was a little kid,
okay,
I watched this Rescue Heroes. If anyone knows what they are, they're like action figures, but based on first responders and kind of stuff. So you'd have police rescue
like
heroes
Paw Patrol?
and yeah, kind of. You'd have like mountain climber rescue heroes and EMTs,
kayak rescue heroes and professional curling rescue heroes, Weight Watchers rescue heroes.
They came out around 2000, I believe.
Okay.
Now there's an episode, season 1, episode 4.
Okay, you're familiar.
Called Twister, where
like the movie
hero,
Twister.
Yeah, a hero, Rocky. He was like the mountain climber dude.
Oh, was he?
Wanted to protect his hot rod from a tornado.
I think you mean hot rock, but go ahead.
No, he had this fancy hot rod. It was kind of neat. This tornado was coming, and they were like, we need to get somewhere safe. And obviously, they'd tell kids how to deal with the tornado.
Right, and a tornado will just slurp up your hot rod like a spaghetti noodle.
Yeah. And he didn't want that to happen. And they're like, no, you can't do that. You have to get safe. But he's like, no, I'm gonna go protect my hot rod. So he jumps in the car and he starts driving away from the tornado.
Yeah.
Now, the show obviously teaches kids how to deal with situations, and that's maybe not the best idea.
Right, unless you have a really fast hot rod.
Unless it's very fast.
Yes.
So they made this tornado chase the guy in the hot rod. Every turn down, every turn on the street he made, every time he tried to outrun it, the tornado would just follow him because they're like, it's unpredictable. You can't tell where it's going to go.
A pillar of tornado by day and a pillar of fire by night just follows him across the twists and turns of the desert until he reaches the promised land. I've heard this one.
And eventually he gets in cover, and I think his hot rod's ruined or whatever.
Oh.
But it's always stuck in the back of my mind. Like 5-year-old me watching this this show where this tornado just follows him. So I thought tornadoes would follow you.
Hey, good job, show. Hey, show, good job, man. Hey, keep it up. Hey, you know what? It really works for kids and just makes them so secure. You know what you have to do for the kids to just help them have healthy, productive lives is just paranoia. It's just so much paranoia and letting them know that whatever they do, no matter what they try to do to outrun the elements of nature, the gods will be angry and will try to smite them from on high with tornadoes, especially if they have a cool car.
Yeah, that show kind of like exaggerated I thought there would be a lot more fires and avalanches than there actually are. There was an avalanche episode that was actually kind of scary. Again, I was like 5.
Well, to be fair, children's TV taught us a lot of things. I used to think that if I went to the library, maybe lions would eat me.
Yeah, you kind of had to skirt around the statues, kind of to make sure they wouldn't do anything.
Hey, we've been yammering for a while here.
That is true.
Sweet potatoing, depending on where you're from. And now it's time for just a swift little ad break. So why don't we go into that ad break with a little bit of smooth a cappella. Ding 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 ding. Hey, guess who doesn't know any of the lyrics to Warning?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, who's our first sponsor today?
Our first sponsor is Spider Man, actually.
Oh,
yeah. Is that
the
trademarked?
man himself? Which Spider Man?
Which Spider Man?
Because we've got all these Spider Verses now.
That is true. We have a lot of Spider Man. This one is actually generic Spider Boy.
Oh,
not associated with any brand or.
It's like Spider, but it's like SPYDER.
Yeah.
Or no, is that the car?
No.
That might also be copyright.
That's not it's like a trike. It's like a...
Wait, what if you just do Spider-Man without the hyphen? Is that copyright?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
2 words. It's just 2 words.
I think if you say Spider-Man without the hyphen, that's not copyright.
Yeah, so we're getting sponsored by Spider.
Okay, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Anansi, the Spider Man of African folklore. I'm familiar. You know that song?
No.
Anansi, he is... Let me get my guitar.
What?
I'm going to get my guitar.
Okay, he's getting his guitar now.
I'm surprised you don't know the song.
I don't know the song. What song is it?
It's a folk song.
It's a... well, that'll be why I don't know it. Yes,
Yeah.
I tuned it earlier.
All right, here
You're welcome.
we go. You don't know the song?
No.
Here we go. Anansi, here's a spider. Anansi, here's a man. Anansi, here's a lazy one. Do little as he can, yeah. Do little as he can. Do little as he can.
Huh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
The starting lyrics started out like Trogdor. He was a spider.
Elephant has a melon patch. Melons are so sweet. Nancy licks his tiny lips and says, I want to eat. Elephant goes to take a nap and Nancy drops out of the tree. He digs a hole and climbs inside. He's as happy as can be. Hey, just to clarify, he digs a hole and climbs inside of the melon. I know that the last thing in the song that was referenced is elephant. But he doesn't... I don't believe that the interpretation of the song is that Anansi drops out of the tree burrows into his friend elephant, and then climbs inside. So, yeah.
Is Nancy a spider or is Nancy...
It's Anansi.
Anansi.
Anansi or Anansi, yeah, depending on how you say it.
Is he a spider or is he a man?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Anansi, he is a spider. Anansi, he is a man.
Okay.
Anansi, he is a lazy one. Do little as he can. Yeah, do little as he can.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised.
So that's a good song.
Uh-huh. So who's our second sponsor?
Oh, that was our second sponsor.
Anansi was.
Yeah. Yeah. That was our second.
Well, I guess we should hear a little bit more about Anansi. Anansi eats the melon. His tummy is so fat. He wants to climb out of the melon, but no, he can't do that. Elephant picks up the melon. Anansi cries out, eek. Elephant is so surprised he has a melon that can speak. Anansi, he is a spider. Anansi, he is a man. Anansi, he is a lazy one. Do little as he can. Yeah, do little as he can.
I can't believe this is a real song.
It is a real song, It's a folk song.
I would claim it's improv, but I feel like those lyrics fit together way too well for it to be improv.
No, it is a real song. I don't know where it comes from. I learned it from a recording done by my uncle Chris Ganal. I believe it was my uncle Chris. He sent us a recording of the song. Again, I don't know who wrote it. Maybe he wrote it, maybe not. But the story of Anansi comes from African folklore. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who should have a warning label as Anansi? You know why?
Why?
'Cause elephant runs to tell the king, hippo and warthog too. By the time they reach the king, they are a walking zoo. King picks up the melon, orders it to speak. It says a king who talks to melons is the mighty king of freaks. King smashes the melon, Anansi runs on back. He feels a little hungry, like it's time to have a snack. Anansi, he is a spider. Anansi, he is a man. Anansi, he is a lazy one. Do little as he can. Yeah, do little as he can. One more time. Anansi, he is a spider. Anansi, he is a man. Anansi, he is a lazy one. Do little as he can. Yeah, do little as he can. Do little as he can. Anansi.
That's fun. That's fun.
That is fun, right?
Can't believe I haven't heard that song
Hey,
before.
normally I don't take 5 minutes out of this show to sing a folk song about African folklore, but I think if people don't know about Anansi the Spider Man, well, they certainly should.
Well, they do now.
Probably worth a Google, as Lego Joker would say. I think that counts as our smooth acapella.
I think that probably does.
I think
it's not acapella.
It's not acapella, but it counts. We actually don't have as much time left. I wonder why. Where does the time go? I literally can't think of any reason why we would be running out of time now.
Me neither.
Hey, why? Like, when did a skull and crossbones come to represent poison? If you had to think about like poison, okay. First of all, I don't know why it represents death. Crossed, like why the crossed bones?
Why the crossed?
Why? And also,
Well-
like, it's bones, right?
Was
Why are they crossed?
Was that does it exist further back in time than the Jolly Roger? I thought
I
the
think you
Jolly
mean
Roger.
the Jolly Rancher. We just had some of those earlier.
Yeah, the Jolly Rancher. They're really good. But I
Those
know
are
the Jolly
farmers, of
Roger
course, who
was
pirate each other's horses. They run around on these big combines. They run up the Black Flag, and they harvest each other's crops.
But I believe that was like crossed swords.
Okay.
I don't know if it was bones or swords at the beginning.
I'd be interested to know. I'm genuinely interested to know.
I am too. I don't know.
But that's also like, that's kind of archaeological, right? That's like, that's not the sign for like instant death. That's like if you, putting it on a bottle of poison is like, if you drink this, you will have been dead for 200 years. Or this will like Ark of the Covenant you, and it will just melt you into a big old skeleton.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is really poison's MO. It kind of just makes you sick and then make queasy and then maybe you die. I think it should, like, on each bottle of poison, you know how you go to the store and you're like, do you do poison? And then they just have some. I think that they should just have a picture on the side of like a guy who looks like he might be car sick.
Yeah. Maybe different pictures of the same guy in various stages to show
depending
you
on how bad the poison is.
Yeah.
Or
That makes sense.
or just like hire an actor who's very good at doing like the gag, like the fake gag. I would say John Krasinski, extremely good at the fake gag, and just have him kind of be on the side. Maybe one of those like
so when you go to the
things.
poison store,
You go to the poison store and you pick up
Yeah.
and you like a lenticular thing, you know, where you turn it to the side and then it changes. So then you just see John Krasinski just like on the side, like that.
Okay.
And then like some crossed out eyes.
So that kind of shows you,
yeah, because you know like how when you die and they cross out your eyes.
Yeah, they every mortuary has a Sharpie.
They've got a big
kinda
old
like
Sharpie and they just cross out the eyes.
out
They're
the
like,
eyes.
don't need those anymore. Null.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in order to make warning signs more effective,
Yeah.
better, however you want to put this, equip warning signs with cameras that'll
Okay.
report back to an all-observing government.
Oh.
So that they can take action whenever the warning isn't being heeded. So, like, if someone's doing, like, stepping onto a floor, like, you can't, like, it's going to hurt the civilian. That's
yeah.
going to hurt the
Of
citizen.
course.
So we need someone actually there to intervene. So that's why they have cameras to report back to the government.
Yeah.
Because you know the Simpsons joke of like, don't enter and like do whatever you want. I'm a sign, not a cop. Right?
Oh yeah. I'm a sign, not a cop. Yeah.
Make the signs literal cops.
Oh, hey, that's good. That with the signs could just be cops. It's a little bit RoboCop. It's a little bit that other episode of The Simpsons where Homer talks into the houseplant.
Yeah, but I mean, it would help the government keep track of their beloved citizens.
So
help
are you-
everyone
so just
keep
what-
everyone safe.
Well, it would probably be easier rather than wasting money on expensive equipment. You know, when we need the funding for like walls and stuff. By the way, why do we have to just build one wall? Why don't we build battlements? Why don't we just build a castle around
A giant American castle.
a big American castle? Why don't we just build a big castle? Nobody's talked about this. I know this isn't what we're talking about today, but why don't we just build a big old castle?
That's true.
We could make the whole country. And the great thing about that though is if you build just a big like square castle or like rectangular castle, then you don't. Texas just does stick outside a bit, and so does Florida. But I think they'll be okay.
Well, I mean, other castles
They'll be
do
fine.
that.
They can just kind of be our moat. Florida can be our moat. It's already got alligators in it.
Oh, perfect.
We'll just alligators
alligators
in
make
our
Florida a
moat.
moat.
Make Florida a moat. That's a moat.
Texas,
yeah.
Texas will be the drawbridge. We can raise it and lower
You
it.
can raise and lower Texas, of course. Don't mess with Texas unless you're raising and lowering it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway.
To help the whole wall funding thing, I know
Yeah.
this again isn't what we're talking about.
Right.
But back to the warning signs. Could we, instead of building a wall, just make warning signs?
just warning labels.
that says "warning,
Warning.
invisible wall,"
Oh,
and just
that's
put them
good.
across the border.
We could
so
just put
people
it-
won't cross it because
if-
that's an invisible wall.
Can we stick some... See, I don't want people to think it's just like an invisible fence situation. That's not what we're talking. We're talking invisible wall, right?
Yeah, well, maybe stick them to
What if-
like say to the wall or something, so they're floating, so people are like, "Whoa,
Well, listen,
okay, there's actually something here."
I mean, I hate to help the government because, you know, they already do that with my tax dollars and taxation is theft. But I think they really want to keep people from entering, illegally. They don't need to build a wall. They just need to put a big old sign up that says, "Warning, if you cross into America, people can be really mean and hurt your feelings, and we can't protect you from that."
Yeah.
Warning.
But again, it's a sign, not a cop.
It's a sign. It is not.
That
was my
is a
point.
sign,
Sorry.
not a cop.
So that was actually my original point: is save money, live better, Walmart. No, my original point was that's, by the way, kind of a big step. Save money, live. Anyway, is so instead of actually adding technology, just put a badge on each sign. Now they're deputies. Now they have the full force of the law. I'm a sign and a cop.
It's a sign and a cop.
It is both a sign and a cop.
And it can take you down.
Yeah.
It can arrest you.
It can arrest. It can perform.
Don't step on that floor. Don't use that
do
hair
not
dryer.
test. Yeah.
Dangerously.
Each sign now has a pair of handcuffs, which if you get too close and then move a little bit wrong and then accidentally slip, if you slip on the wet floor and slide into the sign just at the right angle, then the handcuffs will clasp around your wrist.
And then that's it, you're arrested.
That's it, you're arrested. And now, what are you going to do? Remove the handcuffs with the key that's also attached to the sign? Because the sign also has a key.
Well, yeah, it would have to. It's a cop.
Right. It would
need a key.
What, are you going to try to overpower this cop now?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Hey,
you're going to
get... Hey, you're gonna try and overpower this big magical cop who rides on a horse and is lawful good? That's a paladin.
Not all paladins are lawful good. I need to put that out there. You can play paladins that are not lawful good. It makes them much more interesting people.
All right.
Sorry, just quick PSA.
No, I hear you actually, and I'm sure when we start our D&D spin-off podcast, which is the next logical progression in our wholesale ripoff of the McElroy brothers style.
I mean, isn't that all podcasts?
Yes.
All podcasts, their second podcast is a D&D podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, even the Hello from the Magic Tavern spin-off podcast is basically a D&D podcast, which is amazing because the original podcast is once again Hello from the Magic Tavern, which is we'll say D&D adjacent. Wow. Hey, you got any more ideas before we close this one out?
No, actually, I think we should.
Somebody spent a bunch of our time singing about Anansi the Spider Man, so we are actually wrapping up. Feels like sooner than normal. Well, then why don't we just transition into everyone's favorite segment, which is recommend. So why don't you tell me what you recommend this week?
This week, I recommend Brian David Gilbert. The man, the myth, the legend. What are you? Okay, he's doing something on the computer. Basically, Brian's a YouTuber. He works for Polygon. He has amazing videos. Always phenomenal videos. Do check him out. Oh, I see what you're pulling up. Do check him out if you get the chance. Again, you'll find him on the Polygon channel. So, Graham, what do you recommend? I'm gonna throw you under the bus while you're still typing in.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. No. I just like last week. I forgot to pull up the Magic 8-Ball, so I think I got it now.
Okay.
This is actually a very old thing. This is not new, but I was actually on the fence of whether or not to even recommend it this week. But Connor assures me that everyone has their own clock, so I will just trust that judgment. If you haven't seen it, I recommend Breaking Bad. I finally started it just this week, and yeah, true to what literally everybody has been saying about it for years, it is one of the best shows that has ever been on television. So yeah, I think. For just to add my kind of own personal perspective, I'm a big fan of classic noir, and especially in film and books both. And I really like movies like Double Indemnity, and just to see kind of the elements of that they carry over into this TV show, it's amazing. Like the lighting, the use of silhouette, and then just like the story of this character who is driven by real kind of human emotion and motivation, and you just see him kind of becoming more depraved and more human as time goes on. It's amazing. So yeah, obviously I recommend Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go check those out. So now I believe we do need to consult the 8-Ball
We do.
Before we head off.
Yeah, and now I do just to break. I don't want to break up the flow of the show, but I think last week post show you did mention you wanted to do that at the very end.
Yeah,
so if you still want to do that,
yeah.
Okay. So at the very end, we will let you know what the 8-Ball tells us. But before that, we just want to say a quick thanks to a quick and perpetual thanks to Kenny Childers for doing our opening monologue. As always, we would be nothing without the opening monologue of Kenny Childers, and I mean that in sincerity.
I do too.
Yeah. And once again, if you want to contact us via email, the best way to do that is to send an email to 100%worse@gmail.com. That's the number 100, the words per sentence worse.
If you want to contact us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you can find us at 100% Worse.
Yes, that's the number 100, the words per sentence worse. And when you tweet about the show, don't forget to use the hashtag 100worse. That's the number 100 and the word worse. We'd also appreciate if you would go over to iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever your app calls it, and go ahead and leave us a rating and a review. Anything helps, we say, as we shake our Coca-Cola cup full of coins on the side of the freeway. I'm just hoping that you will drop in a review or a rating or anything of that nature.
They really do help us out.
Yeah. And just when you're telling your friends about the show, because a few people have asked us this, or at least me, that sometimes people want to know, like, hey, do we have to listen from the beginning? Can we just listen wherever? So if people do ask, and you're not sure what to tell them or not sure what the official take is, at least, I guess I can see if Connor agrees with me, but I would say that if you're going to go back and listen from the beginning, you can absolutely start from episode 1. If you scroll all the way up the feed, you actually get to Cell Swords, which is our previous show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine to listen to that too. It's not exactly the same show, but it's similar. The beginning of kind of 100% Worse as we know it, I would say, is like episode 7.
Yeah, it's around episode 7.
Episode 7 is when we started our current format of actually taking things and making them better. Other than that, I think if you just have a favorite episode, just go ahead and recommend that they listen to that first. Yeah, we are happy to get people on board with the show at any point whatsoever. So I'm sure you can use your own knowledge of the show and judgment to make your own recommendations. So again, thanks so much for listening.
Yeah. Again, thanks to the listener.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
You guys rock. So, are we ready to ask the 8-Ball?
Yes, we are.
All right. So the question is,
did we make warning signs better?
did we make warning signs better? And the answer is,
I can't find the mouse. There it is.
it's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
It says
It's taken a while.
Outlook good.
Outlook good. Hey, that's like what,
that's
4 for 4?
Yeah. Does this thing have any negative answers?
I have clicked a few times and I have
Okay.
found negative
Wow.
answers. Yes.
All right. So Spike's 8-Ball knows all, and Spike's 8-Ball, which is at indra.com/cgi-bin/spikes-the number 8-ball, tells
That's,
us Outlook good.
Lengthy. Just type in Magic 8-Ball.
Yeah,
and you'll find
it'll come up. Well, thanks, Spike's 8-Ball. We think that the Outlook is good, that we'll continue using you on episodes for years to come. So
Until
great.
you fail us.
Until you finally leave us a negative review. Watch, if we go to iTunes right now, Spike's 8-Ball will have left us a 1-star review. Podcast trite, unlistenable. Went to listen on Spotify. There was an episode where one of the entire channel of audio was gone. Oh, I should address that really quick, actually. So if you guys listen to the podcast on Spotify, I think it wasn't last week, but the week before, we did have an episode. It went up, and I made a mistake. I edited it wrong, or I exported it wrong, and Connor's audio was missing. Just so you know, Spotify takes forever to update their RSS feeds. If they ever even get it right. That particular episode, I think that was episode 33, I think. So episode 33 is going to be wonky on Spotify for we don't know how long, but it is correct on Apple Podcasts, and it is correct at our website, turboteenmovie.com.
Yeah.
So if anybody is wondering, that's why Spotify is just real slow on the uptake. And and I goofed. Well, okay. All of that very lengthy explanation to say, we have reached the end of the show. Thanks to you all for listening. Thanks to Kenny. Thanks to the National Football League.
Yep, you nailed it. You nailed it.
We
NFL.
talked about football like before on the show, and I'm just afraid to like not give them credit because they're very kind of militant in their lawsuits. Anyway, I've been Graham Ganol.
I've been Connor Hughes.
This has been 100% Worse.
Eat your pizza right out of your pockets.
And they took that show and made that show 100%